Alright, we're working with Bedmas, but we're working with a little more difficult question. We're focusing with just fractions. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 terms here. Okay, and well, we technically have some multiplications and division separating them. Now, according to Bedmas, what would we deal with first?
Brackets.
Yeah, brackets. Do I have any brackets in this?
No.
No, so we take away our b. What does e stand for?
Exponents.
Exponents. Do we have any exponents?
No.
Okay, so we're done there. And is the d next or?
Both.
Both.
Or whatever.
And what do they stand for?
Division and multiplication.
That's right. And depends on what comes first, right? So let's go through this. We have 5 over 4 plus 2.5. Would we deal with that first?
No.
Okay, so we've read it like that. And we skip to the next number. I have 2.5 times 3.
Yeah.
Would that be the next thing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so because that comes first, I'm just going to highlight it. 2.5 times 3. But what I really want to do here, before I even get into any of this, because we have fractions, I want to turn everything into an improper fraction.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's going to be really my first step. Turn everything to improper fractions, because that's going to be the easiest thing. Okay, so before I even get to that part, which we identified as the first thing we need to do, we need to turn this mixed fraction into an improper fraction. So we have 2.5. How do I turn this into an improper fraction?
2 times 2.
Yeah, we do those 2 times each other, which is going to give us
4.
4. Okay,
Plus 1.
that's right. Then we bring the 1 over and add it. So what do we get?
5.
So how do I write this now?
5 over 2.
That's right. The 5 goes on top of the fraction, and the 2 from before comes back below, right? So we have 5 over 2. Great. What about 3? Is 3 a fraction?
3 over 1.
That's right. We can make any whole number a fraction by putting it over 1. So the next line is going to read, and I'm going to put an equal sign to start. 5 over 4 plus what?
5 over 2.
5 over 2 times
3 over 1.
3 over 1. Good. And then we'll divide the rest. Divided by 2 over 3. Sorry, not divide the rest, but write the rest. And a half. Okay, so let's focus on that part. If I want, I can almost put brackets around it to focus on it, but let's do that. Multiplying fractions. What are our rules?
Just straight multiply.
Just multiply across, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it over here. We have 5 over 2 times 3 over 1. So I do 5 times 3 is?
15.
And 2 times 1 is?
2.
So what's our new number?
15 over 2.
That's right. This becomes 15 over 2. And now we rewrite everything else. We still have 5 over 4. And because 15 over 2 is positive, we write it as a plus sign in front. Okay? Because it's a positive value. Had it been a negative, because think of it like this. This was technically positive 5 over 2 times positive 3. Okay? So because when we combined them it was positive, we have our plus sign there. Okay? Divided by 2 over 3 minus 1 over 2. Okay. What's our next step here? Let's talk about Bedmas again. What will we do next?
Divide.
Divide what?
15 over 2 by 2 over 3.
That's right. We divide this part here, so I'm going to highlight it. It's going to become our next step. Great. Now, when we divide fractions, we'll do this one in blue, okay? We have 15 over 2 divided by 2 over 3. What do I do when I divide fractions?
Change 2 over 3 to 3 over 2 and
Yep.
multiply them.
Ah, and we change this into a multiplication question. So 15 over 2 stays the same, and we flip 3 over 2. And now we multiply across, right? So let's multiply across. 15 times 3. Do you know what 15 and 15 is? 30. And then what's 30 plus 15?
45.
45, yeah. Think of like a clock, right?
Mm-hmm.
An alarm clock. And then what's 2 times 2?
4.
4, great. So this becomes 45 over 4. Now, just a side note, what if, here, I'd done this the other way. What if I went 2 over 15 times 2 over 3? All right, you know what? That's going to take a little bit of time, so we'll leave that. for now. Okay, so let's say we got what our answer is. Anyways, I want to just show you how that wouldn't work. We'd have to switch the other one, but that's fine. We write the rest of what we got. 5 over 4, still a plus, and then minus a half. So what do we do next? Add, that's right. We're going to do some addition. And we're going to add 5 over 4 plus 45 over 4. Now when we add, what do we need to have?
To the same common denominator.
And it just so happens in this one, we happen to have that. Yeah. If we didn't, we would have to find a common denominator. So let's do some more adding over here. We did 5 over 4.
Multiply them by themselves, right? To like find an common denominator.
Yeah, exactly. And we're going to have to do that next anyways. So when we add, what's our denominator going to be?
4.
That's right. There's no multiplication involved. The denominator will stay the exact same. And when we're subtracting the same. And then what we do with the two tops, we just, and what are we going to get?
50.
50 over 4. So now we have 50 over 4 is equal to, and we still have minus a half. Okay. We still have to do our subtraction. Now here I need a common denominator. What is a common denominator here?
4.
4, that's right. Now I don't need to change this guy because he's already at 4, right? But this one we do. How do I change it to 4?
Times 2.
Both the top and the bottom, right? So when we do that, we'll do this answer in purple. We have 50 over 4 minus what?
2 over 4.
Okay, so let's work that out. 50 over 4 minus 2 over 4.
48.
48. Over 0? What do we do with the bottoms?
We just subtract.
What do we do when we added?
Oh, we kept the same, sorry.
Yeah, that's right. So for adding and subtracting, so specifically these two here, I'll just put a little dash between them, right? The denominators, I'm just going to highlight, are always going to be the same, okay? So just keep that in mind. With multiplying and dividing, that's not the case. So our answer is going to be 48 over 4. And that was pretty much everything. We've gone through all of them. We did an adding, a subtracting, we made an improper fraction, we multiplied it, and we divided. So we went through every fraction rule there when going through this, okay?